today, and this is our new nuggets. And so I would like to talk about Proverbs today. Proverbs 25:11 through 14. I generally like to do the Psalms whenever I come back at noon, but as I was reading on the Proverbs, oh, that was just perfect. And so from chapters 25 in Proverbs through 31, this is wisdom for leaders. And we've said before, everybody technically is a leader. You're leading someone. So how are you leading them? What does that look like? We got to walk the walk, don't we? In verse 11, 25 verse 11, and I'm reading from the NIV. It says, "A word aptly spoken is like apples of gold in settings of silver." Now, I don't know about you, but this is my favorite time of year for eating apples. I buy a bag of apples every week. I eat an apple every day. The old saying, apple every day keeps the doctor away. Excuse me. But how pretty is it for to have that bowl of red apples in a silver platter? I mean, it's just beautiful. So it's like a word, the right word at the right time for somebody is the best thing ever. And you never know. I say you never know. You're right, because I know we're all praying to say the right thing at the right time, to ask God what He wants us to do today, and it's to be aware and alert generally for people that you can relate to, or will relate to you as you're speaking an apt word. And so, be in touch with your heart to know that they need a word of encouragement or something like that. It's just absolutely powerful whenever you hear that God's probably been speaking to you all along, and then somebody speaks something to you, and it's just confirmation. It's got the power to heal, it's got the power to strengthen, it's got the power to get up and guide you. It's wonderful. So then, verse 12, like an earring of gold or an ornament of fine gold is a wise man's rebuke to a listening ear. Now, into the New Living Translation, it says, to one who listens, valid criticism is like a gold earring or other gold jewelry. Now, I like jewelry. I've always been that girl. I like to have my earrings on, my necklace on, bracelets, the whole 9 yards. That's just part of what I do. And so a wise man's rebuke. So how do I feel if this is uh like a gentle criticism or a wise man's rebuke? Do I feel the same way as I do about when I put my earrings in? I think that I think that that's it's a great one to think about, because who loves you, who wants to help help you along your way, and it's always good to be aware, and whenever somebody is saying something in love because they've got a relationship with you, you know what, don't take it wrong. They're just wanting to help steer you, and just pray about that direction. Verse 13 says, like the coolness of snow at harvest time is a trustworthy messenger to those who send him. He refreshes the spirit of his masters. So it's often difficult to find people that you can really trust. You can find out pretty quick if you tell some juicy secret, to see how many people know about it by the end of the day, right? But this cold snow of harvest speaks of a cold drink like at harvest time, how refreshing it is whenever the workers are out in the field and it's so hot, and they have that refreshing drink. It illustrates the blessing of a faithful messenger to those who send him. Back to that trustworthiness. Are you trustworthy at work? At home? Oh, how about whenever you're checking out your stuff at Walmart because you're doing it yourself? What happens if you miss something that you thought you scanned and you didn't scan? Do you think, I'll just do it another time, or they'll never know, or they make a lot of money here, they're not going to miss it? Well, you know what? God knows what what you missed. Fix it. It'd just be so much easier just to fix it. Verse 14 says, like clouds and wind without rain is a man who boasts of gifts he does not give. So, how are you with your tithes? So if you've promised to give at least 10% of your income as your tithes to your church, because that's what the Bible tells us, and you miss, you think, that's no big deal. Well, you've promised to give, and then you didn't. Or just think about in the story in Acts about Ananias and Sapphira, when they were giving their gifts with, that was from selling stuff. They said, "Oh, this is all I got," and it really wasn't. And they were both struck dead at different times that day. Whenever you've made a promise for whatever that is, you need to follow through on it. Like your churches and missions and things like that, they depend on support. And the Bible tells us that we should be supporting those who are our spiritual leaders, our spiritual home, and everything like that. And the Bible is very clear about the effect it has on those involved in the mystery. If you make a pledge, keep your promise. That's just simple as that. And here another messing. Oh my goodness, I've lost my words right now. Another man has said that this lesson is not to make false promises, and I think that we could use that for everything. Do not make a false promise. So, if you were reading with us today, we had been in Jeremiah and First Thessalonians, and then if you hop on to Psalms today, Psalms 83. This was the last writing of Asaph through this section of the Old Testament, and it's all good. There's not a bad reading in the Bible, and so I just pray that you open it up and just soak up what today's reading is, and if you don't have a 1-year Bible and you don't know what the readings are, you can go to oneyearbible.com, I think is what it is, and you can actually see the scripture references for each day. So that's another easy resource. And so anyway, y'all have a great afternoon and come back tomorrow. And I think Elizabeth will be here